guys, it's Misty and welcome back to my channel. This video is my eBay solds for the week of July 15th through the 21st, 2019. Now, last week I was on vacation, so I was a little stressed and worried that my sales were not going to be very good this week, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was a decent week. I didn't put my eBay store on vacation mode though. I extended my ship time to 10 days, and every time that I made a sale, I emailed my customer letting them know what I was doing and when I would be shipping their item. And I got very good responses back from my customers. So I don't think being scared and worried that you're going to upset a customer should always be at the forefront of your mind. I think that the majority of the time, if you're open and honest with your customers and let them know what the status is, they're willing to work with you. So I always gave them the option to cancel their order, which I didn't really want to do, but I gave them that option. And it worked for me this week. So these are my sales for last week when I was on vacation.
Okay guys, before we get started, I wanted to go ahead and show you my sellers hub right here. As you can see that my total sales for this past week on eBay were $297.96. It says that my sales were up 119.5%, which is really great, especially since I didn't list anything new at all last week. One thing that you can do if you just wanted to do a quick check, because this 297 is my gross sales, you can go down here and it says eBay gives you the net sales and this minus your selling cost. So you can go through here and add up everything that you have sold to get your net sales. Now this doesn't include obviously what your cost of goods were, but it's an easier way for you to go in and see and add up what your net sales were. And my net sales last week were $183.60, which isn't too bad considering I did not list anything at all last week being on vacation. I'm going to close that out and get started with what sold. Okay, this first item is the Sutra Beauty Marble Blow Dryer. This was an item that was included in my FabFitFun box. Again, if you're a reseller and you don't subscribe to FabFitFun, I kind of recommend that you do, and I will link a discount code in the description for you if you haven't already gotten FabFitFun. I believe the cost is about $45 every quarter, so you pay 4 times a year. And some of the items that I get, I enjoy and I keep, and some of the items I sell. And you can see I paid $45 for my subscription, and this one item alone almost paid for the entire box. So it's just something that I recommend that you do just to get something for yourself every once in a while, and you can go and resell some of the things that you decided that you don't want. So I sold this item for $32.50. The buyer paid for shipping. It was just this little portable hairdryer. That's as big as the box. It wasn't a very big item. All right, the next item, I got these at a yard sale. There were 2 of them. They are these Kunto Fitness elbow brace. It's a compression support sleeve, and like for tennis elbow, I believe. And I got these for 50 cents a piece. I sold them for $15.28 a piece. This buyer did buy both of them. I had 2 of them available, and they did buy both of them. So that was a great return on investment. In fact, I only bought a couple of these, and I wish I would have bought the entire... He probably had 15 of them, and I wish I would have bought every single one of them, but I didn't. So I'm happy with selling the 2 that I had. Okay, this next item, this was just one of the lots. I sold another one, too, that will be in next week's video, I believe. Maybe they're in this week's video. No, they're in next week's video. Anyway, no, they were in last week's video. I'm sorry. They were in last week's video. We have several of these Disney Infinity lots. We got tons of these at a yard sale. We paid $30 for the entire lot of them. And I believe that we have 5 or 6 different lots still available. And they're selling for about $35 to $38 a piece. And as you can see, these sold for $38.77, and the buyer paid shipping. These were the Monsters Incredible. We tried to lump together certain ones just to get more bang for our buck, I guess you could say. So, and again, as always, short and sweet description. No need to put information that isn't needed in the listing for that item. Okay, the next thing is the other pair. I had the deputy and the sheriff. I sold the sheriff, and I just recently, last week, sold the deputy. They were these chalkware pieces. This one was 12 inches tall. It was dated 1947 from the artist E. Borman. I got these at an auction. I believe I paid $3 a piece for them, and I sold them each for about $25 a piece. So this one sold for $25.75, and the buyer paid for shipping. Now, this is chalkware, so you have to wrap it up very, very well. I double boxed this, wrapped it very well with bubble wrap, and because chalkware is fragile and it can crumble and break, so you just have to make sure that you wrap these extremely kind of overboard well. This next item is something that sold within about 2 hours of me listing it. I got this, it was in a box, a lot of stuff that I got for free at an auction. It was this Tupperware micro steamer and this reheatables. This is the reheatables right here. Right there is the reheatables. So I got the micro steamer and the reheatables. Sold the lot of them for $24.50. The buyer paid shipping. These were brand new, never used. They still had all of the paperwork. They were still wrapped in the plastic, but I went ahead and took them out of the plastic to take photos of them. They just were not going to be a very pleasant to the eye photo wrapped up in plastic, because you couldn't really see what they were. And again, just a short, sweet listing. They're brand new, never used, with original paperwork, and they sold within a couple hours. So this is something that I definitely will be looking out for when I'm out at yard sales and Goodwill. I think that the fact that they were new definitely helped them. Because I do have other vintage Tupperware pieces that are still kind of sitting. So I think the fact that they were brand new really helped them. Oh, these Lucky Brand Emmy flats. I buy these at any given opportunity that I can. They sell very, very fast. I paid $4.50 for them at Goodwill. These were brand new. Let me try to find the photo here. You can still see they had the little sticker on the bottom. They've never been worn. I did not take the Goodwill sticker off of them. This means that they were marked gray, so they were not on sale when I bought them, but they were in excellent condition. And honestly, these things sell very fast, even if they are pre-owned. So it's something that I buy whenever I can if they're in good condition. Now, if they're in bad condition, don't buy them. But if they're in excellent condition, pick them up because they sell very fast. Another item that does well for me are these Victoria's Secret, the gold label. This is a chemise or nightie. This one was beautiful. It was silk, and it had this beautiful embroidered and brocade kind of trim around the bodice. It was in excellent condition, adjustable straps, and it sold for $24.25. It was a very lightweight item. It did ship first class. Buyer paid shipping, and again, short and sweet. Now, this is something that I've seen going around Instagram, the whole, do we put measurements in our listing or not? I always do. Yes, it takes more time when you list the item. What I do is I'll spend an entire day taking photographs. I'll take photographs, I have a notebook, write down all of my measurements, and then I go back and add all that information in when I'm doing my drafts or my listings. It honestly will save you time in the long run, because people will ask you, what is the measurement from the strap to the hem? Then you have to go in your inventory and you have to pull it all out. You have to open up if you keep yours in plastic like I do, and then measure it. So it just saves me time in the long run. I list what the item is. I list any pertinent information, the size, the approximate measurements, because I could be off by a couple inches. So I always put approximate measurements. And I just do chest and total length. In jeans, I'll do a waist, I'll do an inseam, which is one of the reasons why I hate selling jeans, and I am not selling jeans, is because it's a lot more measurements that I don't enjoy doing. I put the fabric content, what the condition is, and then just kind of my generic information at the bottom. So I personally recommend going ahead and putting all of your measurements in your listing, because in the long run, it's a little less irritating to have to go through and open it up. And then, you know, a lot of times a buyer doesn't end up buying it anyway. So you've gone through all that extra step for no reason. So just do it in the beginning. This picture right here is the example of what the gold label looks like. It just has gold stitching in on the label itself. Okay, moving on. This next item is the Tequila water bottle. I got this one, and I can't remember the name of the other one I got. I got two of these water bottles at the same time at Goodwill for $1.99. They were in excellent condition. These are high-end water bottles. They are, you know, like for hiking and all-terrain. They're insulated. They're heavy-duty. And new. They are about $30 to $40. So I sold this one. It was 24 ounce. It was in great condition. I did provide free shipping for this because I had this one for a while and I was really trying to move it. I did ship it first class, so it was under $4 to ship it out. I sold it for $18, and the buyer, well, no, buyer didn't pay shipping. I paid shipping. But again, short and sweet. This was just kind of what I got from the website. It just provides the double wall vacuum, information that I didn't know offhand, so I did a little bit of research and got some information to put with the listing, and it sold. It did take a while for this one to sell, so I do have to say. All right, the next thing, it is an MPOW MBR StreamBot mini wireless Bluetooth receiver. That's a mouthful. This was something that I actually got for my son for Christmas last year. He decided he didn't want it. It got put in somewhere. I meant to return it back to Amazon, and I never did. And I found it recently when I was taking pictures of a long lost bin of items that I have in my death pile. Way past the Amazon return window, so I went ahead and listed it. It sold very fast. It sold within 3 days, I believe, from me listing it for $15.99. I don't remember what I paid for this originally. I think it was probably about that amount. I did offer free shipping. It shipped for first class, and I probably at least got my money back. So again, short and sweet. It was never opened. It was never used. It's just something that my son decided he didn't want, and I never returned it. So I sold it on eBay. All right, the next item, this I got at a yard sale. I know that these this is a dry stain remover. I know that if you can get the complete set, they are worth a pretty penny. They don't sell this version anymore in this tub right here. They've changed the packaging, so this is the original packaging. When I brought it home, it was missing a lot of pieces, so I just parted it out, and it didn't have a lot of the components. So I just listed what it did have, and it took a while for it to sell, but I think I paid $1 for this at a yard sale, and I ended up selling it for, I think honestly I paid less than $1 for this. I think I paid like 50 cents for this at a yard sale. I don't remember, but I know it was under $1. But I sold it for $16.25, buyer paid shipping. So if you find these, especially in this packaging, I'd still go ahead and pick them up if you can get them cheap enough. This one had these the absorbent pads that were still not opened. The stain remover bottles one was full and one was half full. So even though it was used, it's still sold, and I had the instruction booklet with it as well. So I would buy these again if I got them cheap enough. Okay, and the last item that I sold last week was this vintage Annie Waldrick Gnome Design Norge mug. I find these Norge, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Norge, I don't know. I find these a lot down here, and they do typically pretty well for me. They're one of my fastest selling mugs that I have, actually. This one, here's the bottom of it here. And I buy all of my mugs for less than 60 or less than 70 cents. There's 69 cents at my Goodwill. So, and I pick them up. Maybe I should reframe that, because sometimes I pick them up for $1. So I buy mugs if I can find them for $1 or less. Typically, they're 69 cents at Walmart. I wish. They're 69 cents at Goodwill. And I sold it for $12.99, and the buyer paid $5.50 shipping. Now, I did still send this mug priority because I want the insurance on it. I did throw in a couple more dollars for shipping because it's like a little over $7 to ship it priority. And this one, again, with the mugs, I just take an all around picture, did my measurements, kept it short and sweet, and it sold for $12.99. So those are my sales. I sold 11 items on eBay. My gross sales were $297.90. My net sales were $183.60. That doesn't include my cost of goods, but I don't pay over $4 for any item typically, so I keep my cost of goods very, very low.
So there you have it, guys. It wasn't too bad of a week. I also did decent on Mercari and Poshmark as well. What I did with with Mercari, I didn't do anything because you have to go in and individually put your item on inactive status. So when I made a sale on Mercari, I just sent an email out to the buyer explaining them what my shipping time was, and they were fine with it. And so that's what I did for Mercari. For Poshmark, I put my Poshmark closet on vacation mode until Wednesday, because then that gave me the 5 business days in order to ship the item out. I still sent a message to the buyer letting them know what I was doing, and they all were fine with it as well. So I think the key is open communication with your customer when you are taking a break or on vacation. So it was a decent week for me not to list anything. I was pleasantly surprised. When I got back, I had a lot of things to ship out, but that's all part of this gig of reselling, is the shipping, which I kind of like. So I'm the weird one that likes listing and I like packaging. I don't like photographing. And I do like buying and sourcing. Photographing is not my favorite part. So anyway, those were my sales this week, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video and maybe learned a little bit something from this video. Don't forget to take a break. You can take a break, and it's not going to hurt you. I would suggest not putting your eBay store on vacation mode. I would suggest extending your ship time, being open and honest with your customers, and keeping that line of communication open. That is this video for my sales video for this week. If you like these videos, please sure to hit the like button, hit the little bell button, and you'll be notified every time that I do upload a new video. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. Bye.